Gervonta Davis is avoiding tough fights, and I think that's ruining his legacy. On the back of Gervonta Davis's recent win over Frank Martin, people have been questioning how the fight has done nothing for his boxing legacy. It was a comfortable win in typical Tank fashion, but it's another uninspiring name on his resume. This has not been helped by Tank previously claiming to be the face of boxing, which many, including myself, do not agree with. He's not the first boxer that comes to most people's minds when they think of boxing, and he's not considered one of the best in the sport currently. At 29, people are aware of Tank's talents and boxing IQ, but he hasn't carved out a noteworthy legacy. So in this video, I want to discuss Tank's career up to this point in 2024 and why I think he's wasting his potential. Tank's career started off just like many young prospects do, racking up a padded record fighting low-level opposition. At some point in 2015, Tank met Floyd Mayweather during one of Adrian Broner's training camps. From there, Davis ended up joining Mayweather Promotions, thus being under Floyd's wing. As such, Mayweather guided Tank early in his career, carefully picking fights that would best showcase Tank's abilities. So let's get into what Tank displays in the ring. Tank is the very definition of a low output, high accuracy fighter. He gives up early rounds to read his opponent and see how they react to his feints and punches before making the necessary adjustments to create space and openings for his power shots. But there is so much more to his game than just that. Tank possesses excellent speed that allows him to time and counter his opponents, as well as possessing some underrated defense where his head movement and footwork make it very difficult to land a clean punch on him. This is evident in his fight against Isaac Cruz, where he had to rely on his defense a lot more than usual. When you combine the defense with Tank's ability to pop counterpunches with immense ferocity, you have a boxer that's difficult to engage with at a close distance. In early 2017, Davis beats Jose Pedraza in his first world title fight at super featherweight in a thrilling encounter. This was an impressive victory considering how tough Pedraza was and Tank being only 22 years old. Tank overwhelmed Pedraza with his hand speed and accuracy, eventually walking him down to a 7th round TKO win. Following this victory, Tank continued racking up a string of wins at super featherweight and even winning another world title there before moving up to lightweight. However, it was evident that his career was carefully constructed as he avoided risky fights. Davis was in the same weight class as Lomachenko, Haney and Teofimo for a few years, but there were no signs a fight against any of these guys would materialize. You can make the case that this wasn't solely down to Tank, perhaps other factors could have been at play. However, there is a video of Mayweather alongside Tank from 2019 literally telling Davis that there is no rush to fight Lomachenko and that Tank is making the same amount of money as Lomachenko, except Tank is doing it the easy way, admitting that they were steering clear of danger.
There's no rush, Tank. Your job is to continue to go out there and do what you're doing. You making the same money Lomachenko is making, and you're doing it easier.
Now, Tank's relationship with Floyd Mayweather has since deteriorated, but Tank still uses a lot of Mayweather's tactics to gain the upper hand against his opposition, subjecting certain fighters to conditions that weaken them or make them more vulnerable on fight night. For instance, Leo Santa Cruz had to come up to lightweight for the first time to fight Tank, and Ryan Garcia was infamously constrained by a 10-pound rehydration clause. Not that Ryan needs any sympathy, but that's a topic for another video. In short, whilst these are quality names on his record, Tank has taken these fights on easy mode. If you compare him to Canelo or Floyd, these men fought the best fighters in multiple weight divisions before the age of 30, giving them the universal claim of being one of the best boxers of their generation. And to add to this, the likes of Usyk, Inoue and Crawford have shown on many occasions what a fighter striving for greatness does. These fighters took major risks going up in weight to fight the best boxers in their weight classes at their peak. Whereas most people will probably say the best wins on Tank's record are the aforementioned debilitated fighters in Leo Santa Cruz and Ryan Garcia. But I was impressed with his wins over Isaac Cruz and Mario Barrios, although Barrios has come out and said his fight with Tank included a rehydration clause, which is insane when you consider Barrios was the champion. At the age of 29, Tank is no closer to greatness than he was at 25. He lacks that marquee win which would put him over as one of boxing's elites. The YouTube channel GK said it best in his own video analysing Tank's career. Gervonta Davis is still managed as if he were a prospect, despite being in the game for 11 years now. I personally think Tank has the potential to be one of this generation's boxing's greats. He possesses so much talent and boxing IQ that makes his place on the pound for pound list deserved, which is why people want Tank to test his abilities against those that threaten his undefeated record. But judging from his lack of enthusiasm for wanting to fight the best, I get the feeling he is not interested in furthering his boxing legacy. And perhaps that's reasonable. I've already alluded to the dangers of boxing in my previous video and what risks sparring poses. So maybe Tank wants to mitigate the risks presented in such a violent sport whilst also leveraging his ability to make money from it. I can't knock someone for chasing the bag when they have to take care of themselves and their loved ones. Boxing is a job at the end of the day, and the first priority is to make sure he goes home safe to his family. I understand the motivation for wanting to get as much money with the least amount of risks possible, but this has to come at the cost of not being able to further your legacy when people look back at this generation's best fighters. And if this continues for another 5 years, Tank will be remembered as a fighter with a padded undefeated record and a decent highlight reel, not a fighter that was willing to test himself. Now, in relation to what Tank can do to change many fight fans' perception of him, that's easy. Fight the best while he's still in his prime. As of July 2024, it's been reported that a fight between Davis and Lomachenko is in the works, and that's major progress as far as Tank's legacy is concerned. I don't care if Lomachenko is 36, he is still one of the best at lightweight and definitely poses a danger to Tank. Lomachenko's elite footwork and ability to throw punches from various angles are a test Tank has not confronted yet. If he is to not only beat Lomachenko but stop him, something no one has done yet, that would shut a lot of people up. On top of that, Lomachenko holds a lightweight title, so it's an opportunity for Tank to add to his own lightweight strap. And of course, there's Shakur Stevenson. However, Shakur is a victim of his own success, being so good that he poses a risk to many boxers but without the financial incentive to make a fight appealing. I can't see this fight happening anytime soon, but if Tank is willing to take the risk against Shakur and beat him, I believe Tank would be remembered as one of the greats in the lower weight divisions. But those are my thoughts on Gervonta Davis. I want to hear what you all think about it, and if you think Tank is worth the hype, or is he a hype job? Let me know in the comments. That's going to be it for now though. Thank you for watching.